What's happening, dogs? Mr. Allen here with some simplifying of imaginary numbers. We got 4 examples here, and they're all just I to some power. So they're all kind of the same dealio, but how do we deal with something like this? Well, first, I'm going to break down some different forms of I, or I to different powers, that'll help us work through these examples. So first off, I is the square root of -1. So I'm going to jot that down up here, and you can too at home if you're watching this wonderful math video. So I equals the square root of -1. So what's I squared going to be? Well, if I do a little bit of algebra here, I could square this to become I squared, then I got to square that to balance the two sides. What happens when I square a square root? It just cancels, and I'm left with -1. Beautiful. Okay. Well, how about I cubed? I cubed. Well, I cubed, could I break that down to be like I squared times I? Would that work? I squared times I to the first. You add your exponents when you have like bases. That would work. So I squared is just -1, and I to the first is just I. Yeah. So we get I cubed equals -I. All right. Let's box some of these here. We got I squared is -1, and I cubed is -I. Now, what about I to the 4th? This is the most important one, okay? I to the 4th. Well, I could rewrite that as I squared times I squared, right? What's I squared? It's -1. So could I say it's like -1 times -1? I could say that. And what is -1 times -1? It is +1. So I to the 4th is just +1. Oh my goodness, we've got ourselves a little working system here. I'll tell you what, all right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to use these, the main 3 right here, the I squared, I cubed, and I to the 4th, to break this down. But this one right here is the most important, okay? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take the I to the 37th power. And I want to think, well, what exponent, what number is divisible by 4 closest to 37 without going over? Let me say that again. What number is closest to 37 and divisible by 4 without going over? Well, that would be 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. I don't really care what that is. I just know that 36 is divisible by 4. So we can think about it like this. I'm going to write a little more work than you necessarily need to. I to the 36 times I to the 1st, right? Okay. Well, I to the 36, we said, is the same thing as, isn't this I to the 4th 9 times over, right? To the 9th times I to the 1st. In other words, I have 1 to the 9th power. Well, what's 1 to the 9th power? It's just 1. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times. I lost track. But anyways, it's just 1. So I'm left with just I. Just that guy right there, okay? Now, you don't necessarily need to write all that work. I would say maybe like this one right here might be helpful so your teacher can see that you did, oh, I to the 36, I to the 1st. That I know is 1. Anything you get where it's I to a power that is divisible by 4, it's going to be 1. So this right here is going to equal 1 if that exponent is divisible by 4. Okay? And then we have the I left over. Now let's try I to the 20th. Well, I to the 20th. What number is closest to 20 without going over that is divisible by 4? It's 20. Right? So I to the 20th is just 1. And if you don't believe me, check this out. I could rewrite I to the 20th as I to the 4th to the 5th. 4 times 5, power to a power rule. You multiply. So I have 1 to the 5th, which is 1. Cool? Super cool. All right. Let's go blue. I to the 29th now. What number is closest to 29, divisible by 4, but not going over 29? What is that? 28? Is it 28? It's 28. Okay, it's 28. So I've got, I can think this is I to the 28th times I to the 1st. So I to the 28th is just 1, so we just have I. All right? And then our last one here, I might do a bonus one actually. I to the 82nd. What is closest to 82 and divisible by 4, I'm having a tough time saying that, divisible by 4 without going over 82? I believe that'd be 80, right? Because 8's divisible by 4, divisible by 4. So 80's got to be divisible by 4. So this is I to the 80th times I squared. Well, I squared is just negative 1. This is just 1 times negative 1. So negative 1 is my answer. Nice. Now, there was one example that I realized I don't have on here. So let's do this real quick. What about I to the, let's go with 15. I to the 15th. What would that equal? Well, I to the 15th, let's see, I could break that down. What is closest to 15, divisible by 4, but not going over 15? That would be 12. So this is I to the 12th times I to the 3rd. Add the exponents. That's exponent properties, like bases. Add the exponents. I get, let's see, I to the 12th, that's just 1. I cubed. If you don't remember this, you can kind of figure it out from I times I squared. So you know it's negative I, so negative I. So our answer here is just negative I. I to the 3rd is just negative I. Cool? All right, so you got to know these. This one's the most important. That's what we focus around when we're breaking these things down, is that I to the 4th, what number is closest to this guy that is divisible by 4 without going over that number, okay? That's the key to it, and then you deal with the leftovers, if you will, once you've got that. All right, hope that helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and tell your math teachers, too. Be like, hey, there's some dope videos on the YouTube, Mr. Allen Math. All right, see you later.